Focusing on player number 0, the first weakness I spotted was the player's dribbling at 38 minutes and 8 seconds. The player lost the ball whilst keeping his head down, resulting in the opposing team stealing it and scoring. Although throughout the game he did have a high amount of successful dribbles, he did turn the ball over a number of times, each time making the exact same or slightly different errors. This is a crucial mistake, especially for someone in his position, a shooting guard, as he is responsible for carrying the ball up the court from check and initiating most of the offensive plays. If he is consistently losing the ball to the opposition, then his team will have no chance to score. The reason my player lost the ball was due to the fact he was keeping his head down and watching the ball instead of his eyes on the court. This could indicate that he is not entirely confident in his dribbling skills and is nervous about losing control. This also means he is not able to observe the entire court and work out where both his teammates are and where the opposition who are trying to steal the ball are as well. He was also moving too fast as he couldn't control the ball at the speed he was going. This can again indicate a lack of confidence and control, or the fact that his physical ability is higher than his basketball skill as he was trying to get past the defenders without relying on any skill but rather physical ability. Making sure the ball can get up the court is an imperative part of basketball, and if it's intercepted on the way, then it completely flips the speed and roles of the game. Ideally, it should go something like this. Preparation phase starts by observing the court. Find the location of both your teammates and the opposition. Then decide the best way to go, for example down one of the wings or the centre. Then determine if a pass may be needed, and if so, find potential teammates to pass to. The execution phase starts by moving with the ball at a controlled speed. Keep your head up so you're prepared, and pass if need be. The outcome should be arriving in the opposing team's hoop with the ball in a desired offensive formation, for example 5 out, 3-2 or 4-1. Just any offensive play that can help you score, it doesn't really matter. A good way for a player like this to improve on their skills is by watching basketball at a professional level on media platforms, such as the official NBA website or sports streaming services like Stream East. A good team to follow to see skills like this is the Toronto Raptors, as during the 2021 to 2022 season, they had the highest points scored off fast breaks. This is when you have to carry the ball up the court as quickly as possible in order to score. A player such as Gary Trent Jr. would be a good player to watch, as he's in the same position as shooting guard. Equally, with more media coverage in the 21st century for elite female sports performers, you can also watch the Seattle Storm, who currently hold the records for points off fast breaks in women's professional basketball. In order to improve his dribbling skills, my player should take part in a 9-week training plan called the Mesocycle. This is split into 3 smaller cycles called microcycles. Every time the player progresses into a new microcycle, both the frequency, duration, and the difficulty of the activity will increase. He should first start off with isolated skills to do by himself. He should do them twice a week, roughly 30 minutes, with a 24-minute scrimmage once per week. Moving into the second microscope, the player can add a partner to his drills in order to increase the difficulty and intensity. Each session should last about 45 minutes and repeat several times a week for the 3-week period, with a 30 to 35-minute scrimmage once a week. Finally, the last microcycle should last about 40 minutes and be done 3 times once a week. Try and include as many players as possible into the drills, and non-scrimmages should now last a full 48 minutes so we can assess whether or not the performer is able to implement what he has learned into a game. This should not be done in the main season, but rather at the end of the off-season, going in and continuing for the entirety of the pre-season. At the start of the program, we can record him, then we can do it twice more, once in the middle and once at the end of the test, to analyze his improvement. This is known as the baseline test. The first microcycle and the first practice. This will be done in isolation. The performer is by themselves and helps work on the player's coordination. Start off by bouncing the ball at shoulder height 10 times, then waist height, then knee height. Then cross over, or for more of a challenge, go behind your back to the other hand and repeat. You should repeat this on each hand 3 times. This is to show the performer the proper height at which to bounce the ball, as in the video I noticed a few times there are a number of places where he used too much force and bounced the ball too high. If the player fails or loses control of the ball, then he must start again.